Hi friends, welcome to Anime Thursday. This video is late, unsurprisingly. It's never on time. So obviously there was no My Hero Monday video or Mob Psycho Monday video because it was Labor Day in the States. So I just like, okay, take a breather. I have a lot going on my plate right now in terms of personal life. Really no time for me to really like, okay, let's take a breather. Today was going to be a day where originally last week I was going to go take an art class up about an hour north from me, come home, kind of work on stuff, anime stuff. Had to cancel the class because the class after a certain date required you to be vaccinated. I am not, nor do I plan to. It's just a personal choice thing. I very rarely get shots, period. I have no reason to feel to get this one. Odds are, when I was sick around on Christmas, leading up to Christmas time, probably was that, even though I tested negative. Apparently they were false negatives, but the point is, I had to unfortunately drop that class. Thankfully I'm getting a refund, which is great. But basically today was a long day because it's interesting because sometimes you see Providence happen, being put on like emergency contact lists yesterday, not having to go to a class today because I had to drop out of it, made me available for something big that happened this morning. Maybe not astronomically huge, but basically felt astronomically huge, and it was an emotional weight. And then this evening, after I came home, processed everything, I also ended up fighting with my computer, trying to connect my computer to our family printer without actually having to use a cord. So I'm probably just going to have to invest in a longer USB cord. I forget what kind it is. That's a little square shaped. Anyway, long-winded. That's why this is late. Not why there was no Mob Psycho Monday or My Hero Monday videos. That had to do with Labor Day. Anyway, at least I got 2 episodes of Supergirl edited and put out. Also, if you haven't figured out by now, for anime videos, still have to finish editing the first 2 episodes of Stargirl, and I have to react to the 3 episodes I'm falling behind on. Also, maybe if you noticed, maybe you haven't, but I did make an announcement on YouTube under the community section that I will be adding another ad. I think it's still skippable, halfway point. Now it's going to take place right at the end of the first part of the reaction, right at the beginning of the commercial break that happens in a lot of episodes, anime episodes. So I'm going to be doing that for all the animes that I'm currently watching moving forward. Also, my big thing I've been saying a lot is like, oh, I'm gonna wait till 10,000 subscribers to get a Patreon. Well, there's a lot of financial stuff happening right now. And so if we can get certain things handled for the situation that I vaguely was talking about, then we're going to need a lot of financial support. So there's a very good chance that I'm going to get a Patreon way quicker, way sooner than I expected. And I thought, okay, not 10,000, maybe 7,500. No sooner than that. But there's still a lot going on in terms of work, so I like the idea of, if possible, actually truly starting a Patreon in November of this year, which I wasn't planning. I'm waiting for a couple reasons. One, because at work we're super scheduled in terms of catering season, so I'm going to be constantly working and they kind of need me for hours. And the other part, it gives me time to let them know, hey, I can no longer, what days of the week, I have to spend more time at home, which would be true. What days of the week are you okay with me also not being available, if not all day, and a certain part of the day? So, you know, we have a lot of under 18-year-olds who work there, so it might just be less evening shifts. We'll see. But that really won't be a chance to open up until post height of catering season. And everybody likes getting married in October, so October and September is nut job season. Nut job. I'm sure everybody who's in catering or wedding seasons probably knows how insane April and October are, and any of the months in between. It's like, y'all are nuts. Anyway, just little things I'm mulling over, long announcements, just stuff like that. I'm sorry, I keep pulling strands off my hair. Anything else I want to add? No, obviously I have my little Shaco behind me. I've started to kind of help my camera focus on me. I've started adding little things in the background. I think having a blank background kind of has been screwing with my camera. especially because it's an autofocus webcam. So I like having something in the background, and I thought, well, since I have no Sound HBK Euphonium stuff, why not put marching band stuff? So right now, that's my Shaco from when I was at university. I might put my Letterman letter with all my little bars on it, if I can find it. I think I know where it is. Up here as well. Don't know if I'll put my saxophone up there, because even the alto, this is kind of an unsteady place. And if I move my chair, alto's coming down, and I'd rather not have that happen. But who knows? But for now, the Shaco's going to hang out here. It's going to give the computer something to focus on, and I thought it'd be cute. This anime, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. A lot of what's happening in this anime, I actually really understand and get. I'm like, okay, yep, I've experienced that, and to some accord. And as somebody who was, I have some pictures of me in band. I might even put a particular picture of me, because I was a drum major. So I understand also what the heartache and the insanity and the frustration of being in leadership in marching band when you are dealing with a band that's split, where some people are really gung-ho and some aren't. Now, in terms of what's coming up, I know bits and pieces. I know that they're going to be working on preparing for this particular festival, which just sounds like a parade of bands, which is really cool, because usually bands are used to accent parades that are focused on something else. So it's cool. It sounds like it's a parade just for marching bands, which is really fun. And so we're going to be focusing on prepping for that, but also we're dealing with some sectional issues. So they are just like, we're tired of, let's go. And so he's like, all the sections have problems. And someone who is a director, he can pick up. He's trained his ear to hear what sections are really, really bad. And so it does seem like the percussionists take themselves seriously. We know the UFO crowd does, with the exception of the redhead. But obviously, I think there's a story there. It probably has to do with what happened the previous year. And now, also, we've seen a lot of like the French horns and some of the other sections just goofing off. And so I think he might have to go section by section, which, band directors do that all the time. And sometimes it's just to kind of encourage them. Sometimes they keep an eye on sections. Drum majors do it too. And sometimes it's like, look, this is a particular hard section in, the music for the percussion. Let's focus on that. And the important thing is when you do come together, you do need to be an ensemble. And it's super irritating to have to deal with ensemble issues when everybody's there, because you really want to focus on just playing. And so not only do you need to do your work on your own and focus on your stuff, but if you're a leader in a section, you also need to deal with idiots and hard workers in your section to work hard and get things done. And unfortunately, I worked with people who, they worked hard, I guess, on their own, but they weren't strong leaders, a lot of them, looking back. And they were more interested in being cool and goofing off. Until the heat applied, until they realized, okay, we're in front of a crowd, we might want to get our stuff together. So sometimes they really took it seriously, but, and there's room for goofing off and playing around. So, but when a majority of your time is spent doing that and very little is focusing on actually improving the section, it's rough. And it can be rough on, a 16 to 17-year-old having to be a leader of a bunch of kids your age and sometimes older. It can be frustrating and it can be obnoxious and irritating. And you get frustrated really quickly. And I have. You want so hard to turn things around, but you can't. But I blathered on way too long, 9 minutes and 30 seconds, half of it from personal stuff, half of it for this. This anime is beautiful. And I heard that KyoAni is working on a season 3, because there's 2 seasons, I believe. Yes, 2 seasons, a couple of movies. And I heard that they're working on a season 3. So, I'm excited for that. Who knows when that's going to drop. For sure going to react to that when it's finished airing. Because I like the idea, again, I always reference Tibu. I like the idea of, first of all, waiting to react to a series, because one, I won't be a main source of piracy. The other being, my videos are less likely to be blocked if I'm not putting them out at the same time it's airing. With the exception of live action shows, they're kind of a pain. And this recent One Punch Man frustration, which is irritating because apparently my most popular playlist is One Punch Man, but guess whose videos are all blocked? Anyway, without further ado, countdown timer for you to follow along on YouTube. Don't forget, at the end of the first section of the reaction, there's going to be an ad. I think it's skippable. There's that, and then it'll be my midpoint review, and then the second half of the episode, and then the endpoint review, which I have little timestamps in the description for. But if you watch the flip version, there's none of that, so you can enjoy it as well. But if you can't get access to that website which is free, because of the country you're in, then you'll have to follow along. But there is a countdown timer for you to follow along. You can't miss it. There's no sound, partial translucent image. Keeps copyright monsters mostly at bay. I do find it hilarious that they did rope in that girl to play the euphonium, not the euphonium, the tuba, because that is true to, am my computer out of focus? That is true to life, that we will rope people in just because we need the numbers. I think my computer's out of focus. It looks like it's out of focus. I like the intro, it's very cute. Come on. Ah, there we go. Come on. That's Tuba-kun, isn't it? That Yufa-kun. Now, one of they says it would have to be Ufo-kun. I do love the fact that Reina is in the main intro as one of the main girls, and in the outro, but at the same time, she's like this mysterious presence in like the whole series. We haven't really gotten to know her mind, which I'm sure will change later on. You know what's funny though? Part of the reason I decided to react to this is oh, I'm blanking on their name. They do like these awesome mashups of anime themes. I'm blanking on it, but they did a mashup of, I guess, a season 2 theme or a song in this series, or the season 2 theme, and Miley Cyrus's the USA song. That's really cute. I like how it's like her and then the ensemble. She's part leader. A part lead meaning is what we call a section leader meeting. Trouble leader makes sense. Interesting how we can see with the leaders, like how their personalities affect their leaders. These are the woodwinds, aren't they? Put it nicely. It's a non-committal answer, you jerk. Yeah. So this is being narrated by... Nice. Yeah, she doesn't care. She doesn't. That is the most sensible. That's the most sensible approach. A dog is going off. Ooh. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, wow. Cardiovascular? Oh, I mean, she's an athlete. She should be able to handle that. Yeah, cardiovascular system. Raina is amazing. She probably trains, because again, for her mind, if she trains her yeah, because she plays strings. If they're not running with their instruments, oh, but that might change though. He's testing their lung capacity, their ability, their cardiovascular system. Okay, I want to do this now. Oh, I've gotten my air system, my cardiovascular. It's so bad. These are cool. Feels funny, I'm blowing down like I'm playing my saxophone. 10 minutes? What? Ooh, that might take a while. The trombones kind of suck. Oh. Because he knows she's a beginner, so he's being very sensible. This is where you have to start for you. He's right. Yes, they are. This section is pretty strong, except for the poor redhead over there. I mean, that's the point. Was she even playing or anything? Like, oh, she's over there. That's cute. Yeah, but you have to play well. What's the point then? Bluebird! By herself. She's good. She's okay. I wonder if the boys would actually really appreciate and accept what he was doing versus the girls. With some, because most of the complaining we've been seeing is from the girls. I like that animation there. The flute. I love the bass section. They're really cute. I actually have kind of sometimes a hard time with that. He's cute. They sound pretty solid, actually. I'm assuming so. Oh! That's really cool. That's true. I guess the other girl does play her instrument. She was with them. She's not wasting her time. That's because your section's great. She's upset she was left out. Because they weren't a good section. You knew it. Stop being so mean to him. I guess so. Maybe the trumpets. Because they had their stuff together. No, he's got their stuff together. Don't be sourpuss. Yeah. She just doesn't like him. Honey, calm down. That's so bad? Doesn't make it... Yeah, because he wants to get the basics down. He kind of has to be until they're able to figure out what they want and be able to flow on their own. Dang. You do? We haven't seen... Yeah. Alright. Taki Sensei, you know, defense squad there. Alright. Ooh. She is fierce and scary. I kind of love the way sometimes Kyoani does, where they have like her so like drawn out in the background, such a faded. Oh. Halfway point? Yeah. Okay, now it's the alto saxophones. Yeah, saxophone section. That's me. I really was when I was blowing. I was like this. No. Because I played saxophone. And that's how you have it. Like that. You pull your bottom lip in. Because you're with the re. And you hold your teeth. It's so funny. I had to get a new... Because my teeth are kind of a little bit crooked. It's funny with my old mouthpiece. How the teeth divots that are in the mouthpiece. I had to get a new mouthpiece. So I had to kind of relearn my embouchure. Because my teeth couldn't sit in the way it used to. Especially when I switched to tenor in my sophomore year at UD, which is the last time I played saxophone. It's been so long. But I was doing that. But oh gosh, there were so much things to say. But he didn't really have to say much with them. The bass sections got their stuff together, and it's clear the redhead, despite the fact that I never see her play, she does do some playing. She must be practicing some bit at home. Because they were all together. It was that beautiful sound. And my band director structure was band director at university was very clear on how important it was for you to be all in tune together and as a band across the whole. Especially when you have like 100 plus people in the band. Especially at university, it's like 200, 300 maybe. Maybe not 300, like 200 something. But it's big at university. It's huge. And so you had to make sure not only you're in tune, your section's together, and everybody else is together. Because if you're in tune, that really creates a volume that you just can't reach no matter how loud you play it. Yes, loudness is important, but you can achieve a certain level of loudness if you're all in tune. There's a strength to the sound. And then you can really play with the volume from there. So when we marched, I never did high step. So my high school and my marching university, we did roll step. I still own my marching band shoes from my time at university, and I still wear them from time to time because they're quite comfy actually, and they're kind of nice and black, so they're kind of a casual dress shoe for me now. But I do want to appreciate he has to be heavy-handed because a lot of the sections are, you know, not that great. So he needs to see, okay, if we're going to play an ensemble, first of all, he needs to kind of light a fire under their butt, but also he needs to see where the weaknesses of the band are. So he was like, that's why he was very complimentary. The only thing he mentioned was the guy couldn't sing very well. And there's some people who are great at playing their instrument, they're not singers, they don't sing. And they can't sing. And I've heard people who have perfect pitch, and actually they did have perfect pitch, but they weren't great singers. They didn't have a great sound to them. But they were able to be in choruses because they were able to keep the notes and hold the notes strongly. I have a hard time doing that. Not that I'm a great singer, but sometimes I have a hard time finding the note. And it's funny, I'm an alto. I play alto sax also. I think vocal-wise, I'm also an alto. And so it's funny because altos usually we get stuck with the harmonies, and I'm terrible at harmonies. I'm so bad at them. I've gotten better, but I've had to practice that. So my ear's not always that great. I know when something's off, but I don't always know if it's sharp or it's flat. I'm not very good at that. So, you know. But I just thought it was really funny to kind of like, when practicing, I was blowing like I was playing a saxophone. I also got to play a soprano sax briefly in concert, but gosh, when I finished playing soprano and I went back to alto, I had a hard time breathing because the lung capacity requirements is very different for the different instruments. So that's why he was doing that, because he needed to make sure that they had the lung capacity. And you need to make sure you do have the lung capacity for marching. And in marching band, when you are moving across the field and in a span of maybe 12 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, you've gone from one side of the football field to the other side and back and forth in circles and done crazy things, you need to still be able to play strongly from beginning to end. That can be very difficult. I never ran or anything. I think for most part, my cardiovascular system was okay because I was playing marching band. And my weight was pretty good too. It wasn't until my junior year of high school that I was taken off the field from playing alto because they needed more people in the pit so I could play pit. So I was, for 2 songs, I was conducting, and then for 2 songs, I would be playing in the pit. And then some things happened where I had to conduct the whole time, which can be very tiring on the arms. There's so much to say about it. I'm finished talking now. I'm finished talking. Let's press play. Oh, parent-teacher conference. She is so obsessed with this girl. High school entrance exam, I'm assuming. Focus! She is so obsessed and focused on this girl. Kumiko. Chill. Stop reacting so poorly. Okay. I wonder if she's reaching out to her because they went to middle school together. This girl, like, relax, honey. She's known her for about 3 years then, I guess. She's not gonna kill you, relax. Oh my god. Oh, she's apologizing for her behavior. Was it an apology? What was that? That was weird. Is this really? She's so terrified. She wasn't expecting that. Oh my gosh, I love that animation of like girl is like out of there. Oh, that's nice. That was hilarious. That you see those beautiful moments where it's like the light shining and the camera flares. Like they put in light flares on the camera, but also they're creative enough to speak her mind. They're creative enough that you literally watched her features, like as her face probably, you know, in real life art we would turn pale. She literally, her details literally drained out of her face. That's so hilarious. You sound too strong? He's a senior, isn't he? Oh, I like how she's like supporting her. That is a practice, pulling it out. She's a really good section leader. Ooh. Oh, he's talking about the girl, the other tuba player. Hmm. Aw. I like tuba. It's cute sometimes when you get that simple reaction of just, I like it. Oh, that is Nakagawa. That was cute. A little bit of her fierceness from yesterday. Oh, I like how after he rejected, okay. Yeah, but he's making you guys better. Bitterness and spite. I like it. They're all like spite. You don't need a baton. I like how spite unified them. And maybe it's what his plan was. You know, if he can't inspire them, maybe he can make them hate him enough to want to prove him wrong. I think they'll sound great. Or great for them. I always find it fascinating that it's usually a clarinet or a flute that is the pitch finder and everyone else goes from there. Like in concert, it's always the first violinist. Actually, the tuning sounded much better. Hey, they're together! This is fun. I like this. I don't know if we ever played this in marching band. I don't really recognize it. Oh, she's a first timer, so he's kind of telling. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, look at her. She's happy too. You know, she looks like a stern older woman, but she's probably a softie on the inside. Interesting how Naozuki? Yes! Give me that! Give me those, volume changes. There's a better word for that. Focus again. They sounded really good. Come on. My camera, my stupid camera. Raina's breathing because she knows they did good. But I like how he's not having her play because she's a beginner. Yeah, what? And look how them playing well and together. That was cute. Trying to get this thing to focus. All right. Woo, whoa, Sundays. You always being young. Oh my god. Let's have a competition. Yeah. There we go. That's an inspiration. Oh, my camera is so stupid. Yeah. My stupid camera loves to go out of focus. Come on. They better get their butts in gear too. Come on. Yeah, I actually am gonna watch the next episode. I just wish my camera would go not be out of focus. I know it is. There we go. You know what? I think it's the white, no, with a little bit of gray from dust feathers. Sorry guys that it was out of focus. I always hate when it's always not just out of focus, but a little bit out of focus because then your eyes are like, what's wrong? That was great. I like how she wasn't playing because she's a beginner, so she really can't play. She would definitely screw up the piece. So he might have her do other things when it comes to playing. Someone said after episode 5 I should watch a particular marching band. I don't know if I'll react to it, but I'll watch it. Maybe I will react to it. We'll see. Next part of episode 5. Again, it was this red string of fate of these two. So they know each other from middle school band, but I guess she didn't know her very well. But she definitely, likes her and respects her. Because her opinion seems to either lift her up or crush her. And it's very clear that Kosaka, or our dear, our dear Reina, was very surprised by Kumiko's bluntness, which is usually, you know, a Reina thing. So, yeah, let's talk about this episode, shall we? Ugh. I really liked this episode. It was fun. It was cute. I don't know. It was just a really fun moment. I just kind of a good idea of for slice of life. Like, the plot is the mundane of life, so there's not really like a heavy like ooh this and ooh that. It's really about how being in marching band and being in band and concert band, and this strive to be better, because this is what he said. It wasn't to win nationals, it was to get to nationals. And so maybe they'll get it, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll get to go to nationals, maybe they won't. But him transforming and changing them has lit a fire under their butt, and definitely will shift and inspire others. And yeah, I like that comment though. I don't remember what I was gonna say. My train completely derailed. But yeah, Kumiko and Reina's relationship is weird. It's just weird. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I think I know what's going on, but I have no idea what's going on. It's hard to really tell. Reina's hard to read. Though she clearly, in some regard, probably likes and respects Kumiko as well. If she was willing to take her aside and, like, talk to her. And I bet if it was anybody else gossiping over there, she wouldn't have cared. But because it was Kumiko, who she played with in middle school, she cared. Also, Kumiko does not like Shuichi, Tsukamoto. Oh gosh, these names. She does not like him at all. She doesn't. Gosh, its mere presence just irritates her. She doesn't want to give him an inch of anything. But she at least, you know, there's a part of her that's like okay with like willing to spend time with him. I guess because they did know each other when they were young, also in middle school, and they're neighbors. Yes. So, but the idea is she's apparently supposed to be resentful of something he embarrassed her in middle school, but at the same time, I don't think that's it. I just don't think she likes him at all. Because his mere presence just kind of bugs her. But she does like Reina. I'm sure as things move forward, we are going to get more of their relationship dynamic and what they actually maybe think about each other. So Reina still is kind of mysterious presence far off, but I'm going to bet that's going to change. Okay, anything else to add? I really liked a lot what the band director was doing. He has kind of amused me, and I think he kind of knew what he was doing. That he inspired some to be better, but then also out of spite inspired them to be better, because they're like, I'm gonna be better and prove you wrong, which is funny because he basically got them to do what he wanted them to do. And I don't think he went out to manipulate them, but I don't think he's stupid. No, he didn't go out to manipulate them. These were his rules. This is what he was going to be strict, just no matter what. And so it just happened to be the reaction. But I'm sure he kind of suspected what happened behind the scenes. But the band said they're really great. And now that he's actually... But also, there's still that doubt within their mind. And I like how he says, you don't think, but I do. After all, we're going to go to nationals. So... because he's kind of broken down certain barriers amongst the sections, he's also inspired them to be like, yeah, maybe we can do this. And so it's bits and pieces. So right now, the Sunfest, he is like, yeah, it's a way for us to hang out and be around each other and play and prove them we're not the same high school the year as we were before. At the same time, this is kind of a slow way of transforming their reputation. Because if they have a poor reputation, if they come out really well, then their expectations are even higher for them. So I like how he's like, well, let's start with the Sunfest. First of all, you know, these are hard work to have fun and to enjoy each other, but also to kind of prove to people how we've changed. And I think it's pretty cool. I like this anime. There's a lot more for me to say, but I kind of blanked on it. Oh, in terms of what I mentioned about Patreon, I do want to do a Patreon. I do want to maybe look into it and starting it in November. I'm just trying to find some business models, figure out how I want to tier things, what what that influences, what that means. Also, I would like eventually to get into merchandise. I have a few ideas, more like clothing apparel and cups and stuff, kind of the basics. Probably look into companies that I other people have used that are reputable, and sort of go from there. And I think that'd be really, really cool. I'm too small of a channel to be sponsored, so monetization and Patreon's kind of where I'm at. So that's what's gonna happen. But yeah, definitely in a place in my life where it's like each day, each day is enough trouble in itself. Don't worry about tomorrow. Each day has its own worries. Doesn't mean you can't and shouldn't plan for the future to some degree. Doesn't mean you get to be lazy, but you also can't control what happens tomorrow because it hasn't happened yet. So I will do my best to handle each day and rely on the one who actually does hold each day. Thank you so much for watching. I like this anime a lot, and I'm going to have so much to say about Merchant Man. It feels really nice to watch an anime that I know stuff about, and I feel like it actually adds something of some knowledge in my brain. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your enemies, and I'll see you next time.